Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to yet another video. This is a bit of a chill commentary. It's actually quite late at night. It's about 1 AM, so I'm being a little bit more somber. Is that the right word? The fuck does somber mean? Oh, I'm not being that at all. That's not what I meant. But it's late, so I'm just being a little bit more quiet, and I'm here to talk about whether we've seen too much of Assassin's Creed Origins, whether, whether they've shown simply too much of the game, because I know a lot of people have those concerns that we've just seen too much and the game's not going to be as fun of an experience because we've seen too much of the game, and if they have shown too much, quote-unquote, then you kind of have to be the gatekeeper yourself for what you see and what you don't see, and decide for yourself, do I want to see this much, or don't I want to see this much? However, I am going to kind of go against that and be like, well, actually, I don't think we've seen too much, but we'll hop into that in a second. So without further ado, let's just go ahead, and let's just hop into the video. So like I said, this is a ChillCom, so it's not too bad that I'm a little bit quieter than usual. This is really why I felt like doing a ChillCom specifically, because it's late, I want to talk about it, and that's kind of what we're going to do. So, for starters, we've got a trailer coming out tomorrow. The brand new gameplay trailer has been advertised, which is super exciting, and obviously I'm going to break that down tomorrow. If it's worthy of a reaction, then I'll do a reaction, obviously. I always record my reactions to trailers, and if it's not an amazing trailer, then there's no need to show my reaction to it, because nothing necessarily happens. Like the Game of Power trailer, I didn't do a reaction to that because I just didn't find it necessary. So, but I'll definitely be breaking it down. 100% we'll be breaking it down. I'm going to try and go as deep as I possibly can into this damn trailer, and we're going to just rip it apart. Just rip it apart, just see what we can find within the trailer in terms of things that are interesting, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be very story heavy, considering what we've seen from, the promotion and things like that. It looks like it's very story based, this trailer, and we're going to see a lot to do with the enemies, being the Order of the Ancients. Whether we'll see any modern day, I'm not sure, but we'll get into that in a little bit. And that's essentially my thoughts on that. Not too much else to say. That's why I haven't broken down the trailers, like the teasers we've got, because I just don't think there's anything there worth talking about. It's cool. It is cool, not gonna lie. It's mysterious, it's cool, it sets a tone, but it's not something that I feel like I need to make a video on, or two. Anyway, that being said, there will be some interesting things. So obviously this is a ChillCom, so I'm kind of just going to go through a few points that I have regarding the marketing for Origins, why, I think people say that we've seen too much, and why I disagree. So it'll be a little bit interesting. So, like before, find a game to play, maybe just, an image to look at. Maybe not that one, maybe play the game, or whatever, or you can just watch the gameplay I throw up. I don't know what I'm going to throw up yet. I've been doing a lot of Origin stuff, but I think maybe I'll throw up some Ezio Collection gameplay, like some tombs or something interesting. That'd be good. That'd be a nice little throwback, wouldn't it? Maybe I'll do that. Who knows? Not editing it yet. Anyways, so, have we seen too much of Assassin's Creed Origins? Now, I think the way people are looking at this is from the perspective of the size of Assassin's Creed games prior to Assassin's Creed Origins. If this was Assassin's Creed 2, take the amount we've seen for Origins and apply that to AC2, for sure we've seen too much. We've seen the whole game. There's nothing left for us to explore. But with Assassin's Creed Origins, this game is grander than any Assassin's Creed game we've had before in terms of scale, in terms of size, storytelling, world, quests. Everything is hugely improved and bigger than any Assassin's Creed game before it. And that means there's far more content, which means there's far more that they can show off without it being too much. So you've got to look at it relatively. 100% of Assassin's Creed 2 is not equivalent to 100% of Assassin's Creed Origins. 100% of AC2 might be equivalent to 25% of Assassin's Creed Origins, so you've got to look at it that way. The amount that we've seen of Assassin's Creed Origins, I would say, is the same percentage they advertise for any other Assassin's Creed game. It's a very small amount relative to the final product, and that's the same thing they're doing. They would never give away too much, otherwise what's the point in getting the game? They give away as much as they can in relation to what the final game will be, which is obviously going to be way bigger than anything they've shown. You've got to think, we've seen a bit of Giza, we've seen Memphis, and we've seen the Fayum. Now, I think there's probably 85% of the map we have not seen yet, in terms of at least gameplay. I mean, we've seen loads of bits here and there in trailers, but that's not really anything. In terms of actually seeing the game in action, I think there's about 85% of the game we still have yet to see, and that's just the world. That's not including quests, because including quests, like Ashraf has said, there's hundreds of quests in the game, side quests, and that's just side stories, hundreds of side stories. You've also then got tombs, things to explore, you've got main story missions, etc, etc, and that's just an insane amount of content. So, you know, the stuff we've seen is nowhere near the amount of stuff we're going to experience when we get our hands on this game. So I think that's something you have to keep in mind, and I think that means pretty much, you know, we haven't seen too much of Assassin's Creed Origins. I think we've seen just enough, if not, you know, they could show a bit more, which they're going to do with trailers. But we're getting very close to release now, so I think they won't go so heavy on promotion until, you know, the week or two leading up to launch, other than this trailer that we're getting tomorrow, of course, or I guess it's today now. You know, and that's the thing. So I think when people say, you know, we've seen too much, I think you've got to keep in mind that this game's way bigger, so relatively speaking, it's about the same amount we always get to see, but obviously, that's because this whole game is bigger, so showing more means showing, you know, the same amount, if that makes sense, if you understand what I'm saying. So, of course, that's the case. Now, in terms of the story, I mean, we don't know anything about the story. That's the thing, is they've shown so much of the world, exploration, side stuff, customization, combat, stealth, and things like that, but we don't know anything about the story. We know minuscule amounts about the story. We don't know Bayek's motivation. We don't even really know what Bayek's doing. All we know is he wants to take these people out. We don't know who they are. We don't know why. We don't know, you know, like I said, his motivation. We don't know anything. All we know is Bayek is going around Egypt, taking out these guys that, you know, probably have ill intent, helping people along the way, bettering himself. He's got a wife called Aya. He helps Cleopatra and Julius Caesar, and that's about all we know. We don't really know the narrative, we just know things that will happen, but we don't know the focus of the storyline and the narrative. We just know things that will happen over the course of the main quests, which is great. I think that's really good that we will go into this game pretty much blind, not knowing anything about the story necessarily. Because it's crazy that they'll always tell us in previous Assassin's Creed games, in building up to the game, they'll tell us the character's motivation. They'll be like, this is why this happens. Like with Ezio, they were like, you know, something happens to Ezio, something tragic happens, and this sends him into, you know, a pathway that leads him to become an assassin. And we haven't got that with Bayek. We don't know his origin, we don't know his story, we don't know his motivations, we don't know why he's doing what he's doing in this game, or even really what he's doing in this game and his final goal, which I think is really, really good and really, really interesting. It just intrigues me more about the game. It's like, well, what's this story going to be about? And there's little things here and there, like when he goes into the pyramid in some of the gameplay we've seen online, and he's like, this is where my journey began. It's like, why? Why is this where his journey began? Why did he go into this temple? What's going on here? And if you haven't already seen my video on my idea for the story of Bayek, it's on my channel. You can check it out. It's a couple of videos before this one. And it was a really good time. And there's other things like the Ankh that we see inside of that temple. It's not available in the demo. So what's that about? You know, it's very mysterious, and that's really interesting. I really, 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 really like the way that they've marketed this. If they've shown us the game and how the game works, and how exploration works, but they have not alluded to the story really in the slightest. They've given us tiny bits here and there, dotted all over the place, but nothing so that we can make a coherent sort of narrative out of it. And that means that when we get into the game, it's going to be really interesting. And I think that's something that Horizon Zero Dawn did really well with marketing, is we kind of understood like the gist of the story. It's like Aloy's trying to survive in this kind of post-apocalyptic world where things are being rebuilt. You know, there's these machines, but we don't know our motivations. We didn't know why the machines were there. We didn't know what caused this to happen. It was just like, this is the world we're in, and here's some plot points here and there, but we don't really know the focus of the narrative. We don't really know the focus of the storyline. And so I think that's the same thing they're going for here, and it's really interesting. And that's something that I'm really interested to see when the game comes out, is exactly the direction the story takes, and even the structure of the story. We don't even know that yet, so I think this will be very different to any other Assassin's Creed game. And it's one of the interesting things about playing this game for the first time is going to be experiencing the way that they tell their story in this game. Now, another thing is the modern day. Now, I mean, from everything we've seen regarding Ashraf, we pretty much know the modern day is back in full force. We know that they're going to do playable modern day. Pretty much, I'm so certain, 99.9% sure. The modern day is going to be what we want it to be, but that's something else that's really interesting. Are they going to market the modern day? I mean, Ashraf's been asked numerous times, like, you know, stuff about it, and he's been like, you know, they're still on, we're not talking about that yet, or, you know, there's still a marketing campaign still going on, you know, we've got some months leading up to release. Will they show us modern day? I hope not. All I need is what I've heard from Ashraf, which is, we've listened. That's enough. That is, honestly, that is enough. Ashraf saying, we've listened. And he said it numerous times, numerous occasions, where he said, we've listened. We understand the feedback. And that means a lot. So, I really just can't wait. I really just can't wait to see what's going on with the modern day. I think that it's best to just wait for the game to come out, boot up the game, and see it for ourselves. I think that's the only way you can experience such a fucking great, you know, sort of thing like that. And if they're proud of it, that's what they'll do, because that's what I want to see. I really want to see that. I can't wait to boot up the game and see what they've done with the modern day. I don't want to know beforehand, that'll spoil it. So, hopefully, we don't get the modern day marketed. If we do, it's just like small little cryptic messages here and there, because that's always fun for the community to, you know, pick up on these little messages and be like, oh, it's little messages linking to the modern day, this is super interesting. Which I think is the only thing we need at this point, is those things. And if they do that, I'd be super, super happy. A lot of people have said, you know, in this trailer, are we going to be seeing any modern day? I thought it might be possible. Now I'm not so sure. I think it'll be more about the masked ones, you know, the Order of the Ancients in Bayek storyline. I don't think we're going to get modern day, but if we do, that'd be freaking super cool. But I don't think we will. But in terms of modern day, like I've said, don't want it to be marketed properly at all. Just little cryptic messages here and there. I'd rather boot up the game when I get it and see the modern day there, to have that surprise, that awe, that just happiness that they've got it right and nailed it. That's really what I want to see, and I will just be like, well, I'm fucking home. This is it. This is Assassin's Creed. You know, I'll be back in, you know, the days when I fucking loved the franchise. It's like, I remember booting up Assassin's Creed 3 for the first time and jumping into the game and just continuing Desmond's story and being like, that's what it was to me. It was like, I'm fucking home. This is it. This is my favorite franchise. I fucking love this shit. Just getting into that modern day, seeing the characters that I've, you know, got invested in over the years, you know, be there and continuing their story felt fucking great. And so if we get a modern day where we get to play as a character, you know, that'll be fucking just, it'll make me so happy. I'll be so pleased. I'll be so fucking pleased. But that's a tangent. We've gone off on a fucking tangent, but I think a lot of you people know these videos kind of go like that. I just kind of ramble, and we'll see where we go. You know, people enjoy them. I have a good time. I like just being able to let loose, just record a video, rather than having to be like, okay, let's make sure everything's perfect and precise and everything's nice and, you know, concise. And it's like, you know, people going into this video know that, you know, I'm gonna ramble and I'm just gonna talk, and, you know, like I'm just talking to you, you know, like just having a good time, just having a discussion. So that's good. It makes me feel at ease that I can ramble. God, it's stressful. Anyway, let's get back to the fucking topic. What am I talking about? I want to talk about what they've done well with the marketing. And like, I mean, I've said before, like, you know, I think that what they've done well is they've really shown us a lot of the mechanics. We've seen a lot of cool trailers here and there, and they like to show off the game itself. But I think two of the best things they've done is one at E3 when they showed gameplay for the first time. Half an hour, unedited footage, live, Ashraf just playing the game. That was the best thing they could have done for marketing on Assassin's Creed Origins, because we'd been burned too many times with Assassin's Creed Unity, with Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The best thing they could do was just show us the game. Look, this is what we've got. This is the game so far. Not even finished, but this is the game so far. And it looked great. I remember seeing that, just fucking so happy. You can see my reaction if you find my Ubisoft press conference reaction stream. You can see my reaction to that gameplay, where Ashraf was playing it for the first time, finally seeing some actual live gameplay, and I was so pleased. It just looked so good, and it was like I couldn't have hoped for anything more. Like, after a year and a half of that Empire leak, and finally seeing this game in action, and it looking good, it felt so good. It was so nice to see, and I think that's the best way they could market that. The next thing is the way that they've let so many YouTubers, play the game and test the game and record the game, so we get to see the game and what it's like, and you get to see these little minor glitches, and it's like, well, that's what a game looks like. And this, like, what we've seen from Origins is what the game is. It's not, it's not polished and, painted over and, faked into looking like this great game like they did with Unity. It's like, this is the game. They're just showing us raw footage of the game, and it gets better every time we see it. It looked great at E3, it looked fucking way better at Gamescom. They'd really redone some of the animations, some of the glitches. It was way less glitchy, it looked way more polished, and obviously, from Gamescom on, that's another 2 months until release for them to just polish the game. And it's like Ashraf said, they've been content complete for a while now. They're now just working on polishing and finishing up the game in any way they possibly can. And, the build that we saw at Gamescom, that was, obviously 2 months out from release, the build obviously wasn't like their current state of the game. The build was made months in advance, because that's what they do. They find a stable build, and they go, okay, here we go. We'll show this at Gamescom. It's like the build for E3 was probably finalized around February, March time, and then shown in June, and then the Gamescom build, which was shown in August, was probably finalized around May, June time, and then it was shown at Gamescom. So that's how game development works. So the build that we saw at Gamescom was probably, 4 months more development will be done to that before, because the build that we saw at Gamescom had already probably had 2 months more work done on it since, that build was finalized. So there's tons more that they'll do. There's tons more that they'll do. And I just love how transparent they're being with the game development and with the footage, and just showing us exactly what the game looks like. And I think that's really, really great. Now, what else will we see is another thing I want to talk about. What else will we see? Now, I know we're getting this trailer, which is going to be, I think, very story-based, but on the very mysterious. And I think that's going to be interesting. It's going to be, showing, who are the antagonists of this game. Like, who is the crocodile? Who is the lizard? I feel that's what we're going to be getting tomorrow. I could be completely wrong, and it could be entirely different, and like they just flip the story on its head, and you're like, oh wait, I thought the story was this, but it's actually this. They could do that. Who knows? I'm up for either way. Whatever they decide to do with it, I'm pretty confident. So I'm happy with whatever comes. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about that. But what will we see after the trailer? Well, other than, of course, the wonderful Origins song parody that I'm uploading on October the 6th. If you didn't know that, it's coming out October the 6th. So be fucking excited. I'm really excited to release it. It's so good, honestly. It's so, so good. I like the song, the editing, the video. It's incredible. I can't wait to show you guys. You're going to be fucking, you're going to fucking love it. But what else will we see? I don't know. I'm not sure whether the trailer we're getting tomorrow is a story trailer or not. I mean, I think it's going to be story-based, but I don't know whether it's going to be the story trailer that we normally get. If not, then I think we'll get a story trailer closer to release, probably early to mid-October. And then, obviously, the week before the game comes out, we'll get the launch trailer. But I think we will have one more bulk of gameplay. I think they're doing, I mean, I already know they're doing another event for Assassin's Creed Origins. I haven't been invited to it, but I'm pretty certain they're doing one in London at some point. I would love to be invited to it. If I get invited to it, 100% I'm going, getting some gameplay to whack up on the channel. But if I'm not invited, then I'm not invited, you know. Ubisoft have said there might be some events in the UK, but they haven't gotten back to me or talked to me about it, so who knows there. But I would love to be a part of that, to get some gameplay for the channel. But if not, then, you know, whatever. We'll just see all the gameplay that the other YouTubers put up, no big deal. But I do think we'll get that. And I think, personally, I think it might be Alexandria. I think that might be the last demo they'll show. I hope it's not, and I hope it's something else, like maybe the Nile Delta area, because that'd be an interesting new area, but wouldn't be as spoilery, because I don't want to have Alexandria ruined. That's the thing. It's one of those big reveals that when you finally get to Alexandria, it's like, that's fucking awesome, and it just takes your breath away, and you're like, it just looks awesome. And that's what I don't want ruined for me. So I hope they don't ruin that, and I hope that we, you know, get to experience that for ourselves. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Nile Delta. That'd be nice to see the expanse of the Nile, what it's like to sail along that, some of the wildlife, some of the hunting, and see what the people are like around the Nile Delta. Because I mean, we've seen the Fire, we've seen Memphis, but it would be nice to see the Nile Delta, because I think that's a very different area, very swampy sort of thing, jungly sort of thing, a lot more greenery and things like that. So that'd be interesting to see, but I do think it's going to be Alexandria. I kind of do think they're going to do that, in which case I might try to stay away from that and not experience that. But obviously if I'm invited to the event, I can't help it. But then I would be playing the game, so it's kind of alright. So there's that. But let me know what you guys think we're going to see, because that's pretty much all I think we're getting. This trailer tomorrow, a launch trailer closer to release, possibly a story trailer, and also another bit of gameplay, some gameplay bulk from some YouTubers that have gone to events and things like that. In terms of gameplay, as a matter of fact, they are doing a gameplay event at EGX, and I think EGX might be like now, like happening like right now, or is it this week? God, I don't remember. I think it might be Thursday to Sunday actually. So the 14th to the 18th. I think that might be the case. In which case, I missed that. I was maybe gonna get like a press pass and like go and play some Origins, but shit, I forgot that it was a thing. I just realized now. And I reckon that'll be the Memphis demo that they'll be showing there. But you know, there's that. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have, I think, on this topic. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously tomorrow, today, later today, whatever, whenever you're watching this is relevant whenever, the new trailer will be coming out. I'll be breaking it down. We'll be talking about it. You know, if there's anything that comes of it that's really big, plenty of videos to be made, and I'm excited to be talking more about Origins. I was just saying earlier today, it's fucking crazy that, you know, it's been almost, in January, it'll have been 2 years since the Empire leak, and it's crazy. It's fucking crazy how much the community's changed. You know, these days, other than, you know, the fact that the community's growing, and it's insane that, you know, what, 3 years ago, longer than 3 years ago, nearly 4 years ago now, when we started, or not even we, when I started talking about Assassin's Creed Unity before it was even announced. You know, Assassin's Creed 5, what was it going to be? And it was just me on my own with a channel that had 1,000 subscribers, barely, talking about, you know, what's this new Assassin's Creed game going to be? Let's just talk about it. And I just got into that and talked about that, and, you know, that spawned so many people coming into the community. You know, I made friends with Tyler, and I made friends with Joe the Gaming Sheep, and we made the Kill Connor Club, and then Ethan joined in, and then George joined, and then we got Nick from the Creed. We've got people like Moderox, Kizek, fucking hell, we got people like fucking Turtles and Assassin Gamer that was, you know, hanging around, and I'm gonna forget so many names now, because I wanted to be able to name all of like the, you know, up and coming channels, but I'm kind of forgetting, and obviously, you know, so the community's grown so much since the Unity days, and, you know, all sort of spawned out of, you know, me talking about Unity, and then we got so many other channels that we just formed this bond in this community, and I fucking love it. I just fucking love it, and I'm so happy it's managed to live and grow throughout, you know, the Unity depression after that game came out, and the Syndicate lull, and then we got the Empire League, and everyone's just so fucking happy, and I think this is the rebirth of Assassin's Creed, and all I can hope is that we get more people in the community talking about shit and just making friends, having a good time. I fucking love the community. I fucking love all of you. You're fucking fantastic. This community is so great. It's so great, and I don't know where I'd fucking be without it. It's amazing. We all have this mutual love for Assassin's Creed as a franchise. As much as I might talk shit about it, other people talk shit about it, at my core, I adore it, and I always will, because it's, you know, such an important franchise to me. And as much as I will critique it where it needs to be, I do still love the franchise, and the community, I think, is the heart of that. So, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's been a bit of a long one, bit of a rambly one, but I thought I'd have a good time. Just a bonus video, really. It's not even like a video that's replacing anything. It's just a bonus video. So I hope you guys enjoyed just listening to me ramble. If you want more videos that are like this style, that are way more rambly, let me know, because every time I make one of these, everyone is just like, I fucking love it. And I'm like, good, because I was expecting everyone to just hate the rambliness of these videos, but I kind of like just sitting here and just talking. It's just nice. Although my throat does fuck itself a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that. Haven't taken a sip of a drink in 25 minutes. And I've just been constantly talking. So there's that. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for a breakdown of the trailer, or sorry, later today, you know what I mean. I'll see you for a breakdown of the trailer next video. That'll be a good time. Super excited. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Would appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.